My name's Dan Sadler. I am 41. I'm originally from near Nottingham in the UK, but I live in Atlanta now. And what do? I work for a software company. So we do software for consumer goods customers.
Okay, very nice, man. And if you can remind me, how many weeks back specifically did you join the first initial program, the Accelerated Method program? Do you know how many weeks back it was?
I would guess probably about 9.
You're entering week 10, right?
Yes,
That's right. Okay.
that's about right.
So it's about 9 full weeks or so,
Yeah.
entering week 10. And can you just share, why is it that you joined? What was life like back for you then? And what problems were you facing, and how did you feel just overall?
If I go right back to why I kind of started this whole thing, I have a 4-year-old. And so when I knew she was going to be born, I got to a point where I realized that I probably needed to get more fit and sort of try and take a bit better care of myself. My dad's brother died at 37, leaving 2 young kids, and that always kind of left a fairly big impact on me, given that, I'm now above the age he was. And so, so when that happened, I made a conscious decision to try and at least do something. At the time, I didn't know what to do. I took up running, which, I did, and I ran a half marathon and various other things. And that was great because it meant my fitness levels improved, but I never really lost much in the way of weight as part of that. And that was always a bit of a source of frustration for me. And so then when we moved over to the US back in January last year, you quickly realize it's very easy to eat badly here if you're not careful, because they can deliver every kind of food to your house. And so I kind of figured out quite quickly that, perhaps we needed to do something. So, and also in Atlanta, the weather's a little different to what I'm used to in the UK, where, it's much easier to go out and run in the UK. Here it's bloody hot, frankly. So we then decided to kind of start working with some personal trainers, which was good from the perspective of increased fitness and generally felt healthier, but again didn't really do much in the way of shifting weight either. We did that for about a year, got stronger, felt fitter, no doubt, but again still wasn't achieving the original goal. And so we went on holiday this year. We went down to Florida. And we were driving back and just kind of both talking with my wife in the car, and just said, this just isn't getting us where we want to get to, and I don't particularly enjoy it. And I'd seen your advert pop up on Facebook a few days earlier, and I'd sat and watched the video, and I thought, or some of the videos that you'd shared on there, and it kind of resonated with me for a lot of reasons. Predominantly, obviously, you were talking about people probably in a similar category to me, managing to make big differences fairly quickly, and so that really then sort of set something whirring away in my head about, well, maybe I need to give this a try. I got home and thought, right, okay, I'm going to do it. So filled out the form, spoke to you. I have to say I was a little uncertain what to expect, but ultimately, your results certainly speak for themselves when you listen to the video. So I thought, well, all right, let's give it a try.
Yeah. And you've done more than just give it a try. You've done a pretty solid job of executing and putting things at play. And we're going to go into here in a second on the results that you've created. But before you would actually enter here, how bad did it get for you? Like, what in the state that you were in, that maybe the results weren't fully where you wanted them to be? What specific toll was it taking on your life personally and professionally?
I guess a number of things, really. First of all, frustration, because, despite putting in lots of work, I just wasn't getting the result I was really looking for. When you're trying hard and you're trying to do better with the food you make and, trying to eat better, we tried, a month of not drinking, various other things as well. And just nothing really, as I say, nothing really seemed to make the impact. And so that was frustrating. I guess when I finished a day's work, I was always feeling fairly tired. I'd come in, go downstairs, see my daughter, still feeling a bit kind of dazed and a bit lacking energy at the end of the day, and to the point where I'd probably make dinner, or go and make dinner, sit down with a beer or whatever, and that'd be it for the night. Wouldn't be able to do a great deal more. And so rather than coming down and spending time with my daughter or doing the things that I should be doing with her, or spending time in the evening doing things I want to do, rather than weekdays just being about work, It just wasn't happening. And so, again, that's probably the other big part of why I wanted to make a change. I guess the other area it would have an impact is, just looking back at photos. You've been on holiday, you look at a photo and there's photos of me and my wife or my daughter or me on my own, and just look at them and think, God, I don't look great. I just felt like I always looked heavy or wasn't pleased with what I saw really. And so that always just made looking back at things that should have been nice memories less enjoyable.
Got it. So for you, it was kind of a multiple of things. Aside from, of course, it's understandable to have that frustration when you're putting forth the effort and you weren't seeing the results. So that was number one. But one of the biggest things for you was that energy towards the end of the day just wasn't there. And you noticed that was maybe impacting how you were kind of, whether it was things that you wanted to do that you enjoy or spending time with your daughter or your wife. Yeah. Those things were coming into play. And then to add on top of that, when work was done and you guys got to go on vacation and taking these pictures, you were looking back at these pictures going, hey, this isn't the guy that you weren't fond of what you saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. Okay. So knowing now that you had joined going into week 10, so about 10 weeks back, what has life been like for you over these past couple months or so? I
mean, first things first, I've managed to make a significant difference from where I was to where I am now, to the point where, I'm 25 pounds down from where I started, which is phenomenal. You set out and think, is that even possible? I've got on and off, I've got sort of logs of what I weighed over time through the Apple Health app and whatever else, and this is the lightest I've been since before 2013. So that's a huge difference for me. Generally, my energy levels are better, no doubt. I mean, I come down I finish work at night. I tend to go down, take my daughter out, take the dog for a walk. We just and go and spend some time for half an hour, whatever. Each night, just a bit of time to go and talk to her and get out in the fresh air, do something. I feel a bit more energized for doing that. My clothes sizes, I've gone out and bought new clothes. I'm regularly fitting in a size below where I was. I bought a new pair of trousers and had to buy another pair since because they are now too loose. So yeah, from that perspective, feeling much better. I feel like I've actually made some real progress. It's made such a difference for me. I'm very grateful to you, and I will also say that you say things like, I'm there to support you, I'm in your corner. I 100% believe that that's true, having worked with you. A lot of people would say these things and marketing spiel, whatever else, you genuinely are. Anytime I've had anything going on, if I've come to you and asked you for anything, or you're always checking in, you're always trying to help or figure out a solution if anything's not quite as it should be. So thank you for that. That's been brilliant.
You are very welcome, man. And thank you for just committing like you said you would. You didn't, I think you knew clearly there was about the commitment thing coming into this. You very well backed your talk with full out walk. So hats off to you, man, because you had created all the results for yourself and your huge energy and a part of this. And what I want to know from you, you touched base on pretty profound results that you've created for yourself. So what I want to know, what specific results, if you could lay them out even more so, what specific results have you gotten since entering? I know you mentioned 25 pounds down. What else? Once you created that result for yourself, what else changed for you? What else was different?
Just generally, I think I just feel better. I just feel happier because I've managed to make the difference. I finally, rather than feeling frustrated and feeling like I'm not getting anywhere or not getting where I want to get, I just feel like all of a sudden all that's changed. I've moved forward. As I said, I'm wearing smaller clothes. I'm feeling better about the way I look in those clothes. But yeah, generally I'm just feeling better. As I say, I don't just come in and sit down and watch TV at night now. I go downstairs, go out for a walk, or then I'll go and do something I want to do rather than just sitting down with no energy. So I feel like I'm sort of taking back control of my life to a degree.
I love it, man. And I remember, if I recall, because, aside from the 25 pounds down, I know you mentioned you had to get some new trousers, but also would you say you've lost a significant amount in terms of inches overall? Like where would you stand in terms of the inches when you started and into now?
Probably about 4 inches off my waist, probably a couple of inches off my chest. So yeah, it definitely made a big difference from that perspective as well.
And how specifically, once you created all this for yourself, how specifically did this impact other areas of your life, personally, professionally?
So I guess from a workday perspective, I definitely feel sharper as I'm going to work each day, and that helps because I do have a job where I've got to think a lot and I've got to be on the ball. Personally, again, I'll just getting downstairs, spending time with my daughter, and having more energy. A great example, as I mentioned earlier, we live in Atlanta, and there's an area in Atlanta called the Beltline, which is like almost what used to be an old railroad line. That's been paved, so it's a great area for people to go out and exercise. And so on a Sunday, we'll quite often sort of go out for a walk from where we live down to the Beltline, and take my daughter with her scooter. And so my daughter will now scoot along the Beltline, and while she's scooting along the Beltline, I'll run with her, and I'll be running with her all the way. And so she can keep going, I can keep going, and it's probably a mile and a half the section that we do. But overall, that's in probably a 6.5 mile loop. And I do that, and I don't think twice about it. And so again, thinking back to when I set off and when I started out, of where I wanted to be and where I wanted to get to, that for me just illustrates having achieved what I wanted to do. Because in my mind, I was always thinking, am I going to be able to run around and play with her and do the things she wants to do? And I want to make sure that carries on as she gets older and gets more energetic and can do more. And also, I guess the other big thing for me is that we are now setting a really good example for her, because what she sees every morning is that, daddy gets up and does his exercises, mummy gets up and does her exercises. A weekend we go out, we walk, we run, we do whatever. And so that for her will be the normal she grows up with. And so she should never get in a position where, she's having to do something like I've just done to get herself back on the right track.
That's big, man. So you feel like your actions now, she's starting to mirror them in a way, or at least you're setting the tone for that, so that as she grows up, it's like daddy, mommy, they've been taking care of themselves. Like, this is the norm. This is what I do.
Yeah, and she's already saying to me, Daddy, can I come running with you? Or, can I have some running shoes so I can come running too? Which, is great, because if she's thinking like that now, she's on the right path for later.
It's a perfect age to start them when they're young, right? Yeah. So for you, I mean, that is just outstanding, man. What I want to know is, because I know you had put forth the effort in different various things before ever even reaching out. So I want to know how, once you've gone through this up to this point, how has this been different from anything you've ever experienced before? Since
working with you, it's been a lot more all-encompassing in terms of, you've laid out some meal options of things that we should be looking at, laid out, the way we should be looking to eat, and a program we should be looking to follow, as well as, things like supplements that will help. Just almost an end-to-end process, really, and helping us understand why we're doing the things rather than just telling us what to do. And combine that with an exercise program that kind of builds up gradually and sort of develops. So yeah, I guess it's just a well-rounded program that really brings everything together. And I think that's what makes the difference from my perspective. I mean, that, as I said, it's not like I've not tried before, but this is the program's been great. The motivation provided by yourself, by the group, that all helps, because that all sort of drives you forward as well. And so the overall program, I think, just works really well as a cohesive unit.
What I want to know from you is, what was your biggest worry or concern about joining within the program?
I guess it was just not knowing what to expect, really not being clear about what things would look like or what it would be, or how the whole thing would work. And then whether or not I could do it, because I didn't know what it was going to be. And so, that was it. But again, the things I was concerned about, I didn't need to be concerned about, is ultimately the takeaway for people watching this and wanting to make a difference. Stop delaying, get on with it. You will make a difference as long as you are willing to come take part, put in the effort. You'll get the results. I've seen it. I've seen probably 10 other people get the same sort of results I'm seeing. So it really isn't a one-off. It's worth the effort. It's worth giving it a go, because if you don't invest in yourself, nobody else will.
Very powerfully said, man. And knowing that concern was there for you, and those concerns kind of got cleared up as you started going in. What were you, outside of a concern, what were you really skeptical about when you made the decision to start?
Probably again, it's, you see these big numbers, these great results, and you're like, yeah, okay, but there's, that person's different. So can I achieve those same results, or can I get that same level of benefit? And what does it mean? Do I have to stop drinking altogether? Do I have to completely change who I am and what I do? And the answer is no. Yes, you have to be sensible. Yes, you have to you have to be mindful of what you're doing. But as you would say, it's about progress, not perfection. As long as you follow the process, follow the program, you can get the results.
Yeah, and I want to know, as once you started following the program and you started to see this, what I want to know is, what did, whether it was me, the program as a whole, do at the core level to alleviate your skepticism completely?
Again, it's probably a mix of things, but seeing straight away those results from other people, seeing results myself in the first week, the weight drops in the first week, 2 weeks. It's like, wow, okay, this is making real progress fast.
So overall for you, it was seeing the live results happening to you instead of just seeing the video come into play. It was seeing these other guys leveraged up like you, even when you had maybe a little bit of self-doubt. That's what kept you propelling, moving forward?
Yep, definitely.
Okay. And what would you say, because you kind of touched base on it a little bit, but that guy who maybe has watched all the way up until this point in this video, and he's maybe experienced things like you where he's put the effort in before, he's kind of maybe saw okay results, but the results weren't really that good, or maybe he hasn't tried anything at all, but he's considering something a little bit different, and he's considering maybe taking action after this video by reaching out for support. Heck, he may even drop you a message and say, hey man, was this real? I don't know. But what would you say to that guy watching this video right now who is really on the fence and he's considering reaching out, but he's real skeptical. He's tried things, failed in the past. What would you say to him?
If you genuinely have the desire and the will to make yourself better, to make the improvement, and to get on and do it, then yeah, reach out to Logan and get it done. He'll get you there. As long as you are willing to put in the effort, he will match that effort and make sure that you get through. Again, it's not just me. I've seen 10 other guys do exactly the same thing, and in addition to the videos that I'd seen previously. So I have every confidence that he will get you there. Again, get off the fence, get on with it, take the leap of faith, and be ready for a new and better you.